Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. 2024 budget fails to target poor working class. Ramjatan, we have an opposition bereft of ideas. Jagdeo, handwritten statements in criminal proceedings should be prohibited. AG and the Suriname outlet reports that Guyanese wanted man Iswi Boss is in police custody. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm ALETHEA Grant with the Thursday, 18th January 2024 edition of the HGP Nightly News. We will tell you at this hour that with Guyana dubbed one of the richest countries per capita, leader of the Alliance for Change, Kemraj Ramjatan, has raised concerns about allocations in this year's national budget, which he says did not cater to the poor working class in society. Daisy Richards opens tonight's newscast.
Leader of the Alliance for Change, Kemraj Ramjatan, on Wednesday raised major concerns for the poor working class, highlighting that there should be a balance between infrastructural and socio-economic development across the board.
That didn't happen here. Not only the working poor, but also the pensioners, the other people that require social assistance, and so many other things, students, and a whole host of others.
The party leader said the 2024 budget should strike that balance, which would have ensured shared prosperity, a catalyst for citizens to remain in their home country.
I believe when you concentrate the wealth to a crony capitalist contractor class with all these projects, you're going to have a concentration of poverty.
For those reasons, he expressed disappointment in the 2024 national budget. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
Opposition Chief Whip Christopher Jones says the 2024 national budget has failed to alleviate the high cost of living in Guyana. Carice Gonzalez reports.
Budget 2024 presents what we've heard before. It is just essentially like a cut and paste. You have a larger amount of money that has been allocated, but in terms of where those monies go.
That was Opposition Chief Whip Christopher Jones expressing concerns about the impact of the budget 2024. Jones said in his view, the budget has failed to provide relief to the Guyanese people, particularly those in the working class.
We were hoping to hear that the value-added tax, for example, has been reduced to perhaps 8 or 7%. We haven't heard that. We haven't heard him made any pronouncement about increases in wages and salaries to public servants. You note what has been happening with successive People's Progressive Party civic government, that they await until the ending of the year and make a pronouncement about public servants' increases wages and salary.
Addressing the ongoing complaints about the high cost of living in Guyana, Jones highlighted the government's failure to effectively tackle these issues.
We haven't heard about subvention being given to Guyana Power and Light, which will allow GPL to reduce the electricity tariff. We haven't heard subvention being given to GWI, which would reduce the amount of money that Guyanese pay for water and so forth.
Despite Guyana boasting the world's highest gross domestic product, which stands at 38%, Jones observed that this economic achievement does not seem to correlate with a reduction in the overall cost of living in the country. For the HGP Nightly News, I am Carice Gonzalez.
Meanwhile, Vice President Barrett Jagdeo on a Thursday, in defending the 2024 national budget, dismissed claims by the parliamentary opposition that it will not benefit the ordinary man. Shamar Allen tells us more.
Comments that we saw coming from the opposition for the past several days have been nothing new, and it just proves the point that we've been making, that we have an opposition bereft of ideas.
Vice President Barjack Deo, in defending the country's historic 2024 national budget, dismissed contentions put forward by the opposition regarding the fiscal plan. The opposition argues that the trillion-dollar budget seeks to put more wealth in the hands of the wealthy and a freck for the ordinary citizen.
Even if we didn't present this budget, you would have heard those comments. Because they've been with this opposition so much. There's nothing. If you scan all of the comments made by every member of the opposition and their allies in different parts of society, you would not see a single analysis of the budget.
The Vice President is confident that the budget will significantly improve the quality of life for all Guyanese. He admitted that the budget is capital intensive, but defended that it's heavily focused on infrastructure. He added that with an investment of $80 billion into the gas-to-energy project, and once completed, Guyanese will be able to save approximately $21 billion annually since electricity rates will be cut in half. Reporting for HGP Nightly News, Shamar Allen.
More news after this break. Stay with us.
Well, that was easy. Getting what you want now. At Quartz, you can find appliances, electronics, and furniture that you need at the unbeatable prices. Bundle up and save, or buy one, get one up to 50% off selected gym equipment. Plus, get 20% off solder furniture and a free DVD player with the purchase of selected TVs. Get it now and pay it later with Ready Finance. Only at Quartz, bringing value home. Special conditions apply. Promotion runs January 1st through 31st, 2022.
S&L Electrical Agency believe that a good design begins with a great lighting plan. From ambiance lighting to statement chandeliers. Trendy LED fixtures. We've got it all. Layering your homes with lights is the key to creating spaces that welcome, comfort, and inspire. S&L Electrical Agency, importers and distributors of all electrical lamps, solar lights, cables, circuit breaker panels, AC units, and so much more. S&L Electrical Agency, 179 to 180 Thomas Street, Kitty. Telephone 226-3018, 223-1634.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to kick off the new year with a bang? Digicel has an offer that'll make your January extra special. Imagine winning up to $1 million in free groceries in Digicel's $6 million groceries extravaganza. Simply top up with $1,000 or more, and you can be one of 6 lucky winners to enjoy the ultimate shopping spree worth $6 million. What are you waiting for? Start topping up today. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
You're with the HGP Nightly News. Welcome back. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal has made it clear that police officers should no longer be using handwritten statements in criminal proceedings. The Attorney General said if this trend continues, magistrates should object.
You ought not to get a handwritten statement in a criminal trial anymore. And magistrates must take objections.
That was Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal. The AG was at the time speaking at the handing over ceremony for criminal bench books for magistrates and parish court judges in the Caribbean, volumes 1 to 3. The minister said after millions of dollars being expended towards improving the justice system, including acquisition of computers, printers, and other necessary equipment, more resources would be diverted to better equip officers.
Still, I got a report that they're using handwritten statements in some cases. I wrote them again, and they gave me another list of computers, which we are now publicly procuring, to which they said will address all their needs. We have passed that stage. We are rebuilding all the police stations now into modern edifices.
Meanwhile, just recently, the legal fraternity received criminal bench books for magistrate and parish court judges in the Caribbean, volumes 1 to 3, which will assist in efficiently executing cases. The comprehensive manuals were handed over to prosecutorial bodies, including Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, the DPP, Magistracy, Police Prosecutor's Office, Customs Anti-Narcotic Units, CANU, Special Organized Crime Unit, SOCU, the Berbice Bar Association, and the Guyana Revenue Authority, GRA. Minister Nandilal is optimistic that the criminal bench books will significantly enhance the justice system. Tiana Ko reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Tiana. Following the early release and recall of prisoner Bibi Gopal, who was sentenced to 25 years in prison for the brutal murder of her 16-year-old daughter, Nisa Gopal, Minister of Home Affairs Rob Seben disclosed that a review into her early release is continuing. Here again is Tiana Cole.
On Wednesday, at his ministry's end-of-year press conference, Minister of Home Affairs Rupson Ben said a review on the early release of Bibi Gopal, who is currently back in prison serving time for her daughter's murder, is still under investigation.
So that was fixed. A review is on the way between ourselves and the Attorney General's chambers, and the matter will be concluded.
Ben noted that before he became minister, prisoners were given 90 days remission for work done in the prison system. He said when he became a minister, that was changed to 28 days.
The impact of a decision or the way it was made at the CCJ and the original, what the 90 days, which were running before I became a minister, became was the result in terms of that early release.
The minister added that upon completion of the review, which his ministry is conducting, the report will be released with a final decision in relation to the matter.
In any event, the question of the timing and the amount of remission which could be granted is already, was changed when I became a minister. And but I said what was running originally created the problem at the time that this happened.
Last August, 51-year-old Bibi Gopal was released early from prison due to a miscalculation of her prison term. A few months after her premature release, she was rearrested and is currently behind bars, serving time for the gruesome murder of her daughter. On October 2, 2010, the badly decomposed body of the younger Gopal was found with her head bashed in, stuffed in a suitcase in a creek at the Emerald Towers Resort at Madawini, Linden, Suzaik Highway. Her passport, bank card, and other personal items were also discovered. The suitcase was wrapped with a rope and attached to dumbbells in an apparent effort to keep her body submerged. The straight A Queen's College student was found weeks after she was reported missing from her Lenora, West Coast Demerara home. Her cause of death was given as multiple blunt trauma to the head. Tiana Ko reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
We will now tell you that wanted man Shakwan Ali, known as Izwi Boss, was on Thursday apprehended in Suriname. According to Suriname's Waterkant news outlet, Izwi Boss was nabbed by members of that country's regional assistance team. According to Waterkant News, after a thorough investigation, the suspect was identified, arrested, and handed over to the police for arraignment. Sean Aline, who hails from the mining town of Linden, was wanted by the Guyana Police Force since 2021. The man allegedly shot his girlfriend, Shonat Dover, with a gun and buried her in his backyard. He had managed to evade local enforcement ever since. According to Waterkant News, he will be transferred to Guyana according to procedure. We will be back with more news after this break. Stay with us.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1. Give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Cvance Waste Management today at 218-1455.
At Raj Jewelry, we transform the most precious metals and diamonds into works of art. Capturing timeless beauty, love, and commitment to create the most luxurious gold and diamond jewelries. From classic designs to modern masterpieces, our expert jewelers can help you find the perfect piece to commemorate a special occasion or simply to add a touch of luxury to your wardrobe. Raj Jewelry, Guyana's #1 retailer for luxury gold and diamond jewelry.
Welcome back. You with the HGP Nightly News. Relatives of now dead Ina Sicharan is calling for the release of her son, who was behind the wheel of the car that claimed her life on that fateful day. Dacia Richards has your report.
Ina Sicharan, a 63-year-old housewife of Lot 8, Cane Grove, East Coast, Demerara, was struck by a vehicle her son was driving around 1640 hours on Tuesday. According to police investigations, Haimnot Basdio, 38, also of Crane Grove, was parked on his parents' driveway and preparing to leave when he started the vehicle and drove forward, crashing through the gate and in the process struck down Sicharan, who was standing behind the gate. She was ran over and had multiple injuries. The vehicle came to a halt on a concrete wall in the yard. She was then picked up by her husband and rushed to Maikoni Public Hospital, where she was pronounced dead on arrival. According to the police, her son fled the scene. On Thursday, relatives told Nightly News that Basio frequented his parents' home and his mother would wash and cook for him. The distraught family members believe it was an accident and refuted claims made by the police that Basio fled the scene. Relatives recounted that it was his car that was used to take his injured mother to the hospital, and he was subsequently dropped off at Mahaica, where he visited a private hospital due to the fact that he also received injuries. The relatives further related that after receiving medical attention, he then turned himself in to the police and is currently in custody. The relatives also expressed that they would like him to be released from police custody, as they are sure that the incident was an accident. For AGP Nightly News, I am Dacia Richards.
Thank you, Dacia. The $1 trillion 2024 national budget presented on Monday has received high praise from the private sector and the Guyana Manufacturing and Services Association. The two private sector bodies believe that this year's budget shows government's commitment to fostering economic growth and development. Shamar Allen has that report.
The Private Sector Commission PSC and the Guyana Manufacturing and Services Association GMSA have commended the government for the historic $1.146 trillion budget presented in the National Assembly on Monday. Chairman of the PSC, Kamal Singh, said the significant growth recorded in the economy in 2023 will continue in 2024.
From a private sector standpoint, we are very, very excited on this budget. 2023 budget, we have seen significant development in our country throughout every single sector. 2024, this budget, based on what we have seen today, is even a big springboard.
The GMSA, on the other hand, said it is particularly pleased with the emphasis placed on supporting the manufacturing sector. This, the GMSA said, is testament that undoubtedly new opportunities will be created for local businesses, which will bolster job creation. Quote, the continuing development of current transformative infrastructure is key to enabling business activity and delivery. Such key infrastructures include enhancements to the energy grid, incorporating developments like the gas-to-energy project and solar and hydro initiatives, end quote, the association said. To this end, the association said it remains open and committed to working with the government to foster a thriving business landscape and a prosperous future for Guyana. Reporting for HGP Nightly News, Shamar Allen.
The government and the Guyana Police Force are working assiduously to develop the e-ticketing system. Carice Gonzalez has more.
Minister of Home Affairs, Rupson Ben, on Wednesday, announced the implementation of a digital ticketing system.
Digital ticketing will come on board, and the ticket may arrive at your device, your SMS, or at home or somewhere before you get there for traffic violation.
The minister emphasized that there has been a significant rise in the issuance of tickets in 2024, leading to charges brought against the individuals. However, the ministry's main objective is to ensure there is a significant reduction in the numbers.
We don't necessarily want to charge more and more people. We want people to modify their behavior and to do things which will protect them.
Meanwhile, Attorney General Anil Nandlal, in providing support, said the court system will soon roll out the e-ticketing system.
In terms of the clerk, magistrate court clerk and the accounting system there, both in the High Court and in the Magistrate Court, to implement and execute the e-ticketing. Right now I'm working on the preparation of a document to execute the project because the cameras are all over. I believe the legislative changes are being concluded, so we now have to roll out the project.
The e-ticketing initiative is set to replace the existing manual system, utilizing cameras and advanced technology for precise traffic monitoring, speed checks, license plate verification, and tracking traffic violations. For the HGP Nightly News, I am Carice Gonzalez.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Multi-skilled video editor / camera person wanted. Join our HGP TV video production and broadcast department for an exciting opportunity. As a video editor / camera person, your primary role involves transforming raw or pre-recorded news materials, including video, audio, and graphics, into broadcast-ready content for both television and online platforms. You'll also have the chance to cover assignments alongside our reporters, working either in studio or out in the field. If you are passionate about video editing and camera work and enjoy a good challenge, please get in touch with Ms. Carol Felix via email address carolfelix@hgptv.com to explore this opportunity.
Step right into the vibrant heart of Guyana with HGP TV's freshest series, Inside Culture. Join us every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. on HGP TV Channel 16, Cable 67, where Inside Culture will bring you closer to the heart and soul of Guyana. Also, Inside Culture will be streaming live on all our social media platforms, hgptv.com, Facebook, and YouTube, rebroadcasting on Sundays at 7:30 p.m.
Good evening and welcome to Thursday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Brazil. Brazil will need to relocate citizens in areas that have been hit repeatedly by storms and other disasters, supercharged by climate change. The country's Environment Minister Marina Silva said in Switzerland on Wednesday. Climate change globally is expected to make certain areas unlivable and drive the migration of hundreds of millions or billions of people by 2050 as they flee from rising sea levels, aridity, floods, and other disasters. Brazil already needs to start planning to move some of its citizens from vulnerable areas, Silva said, speaking on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum. Silva said that the government is working to declare climate emergencies in more than 1,000 municipalities in the country in order to free up funding to help these areas to adapt to climate change. Quote unquote, Brazil is a developing country. It doesn't have the resources to carry out a structured process of adaptation overnight. These are highly expensive, onerous investments. While in Ecuador, Ecuadorian prosecutor seizes Suarez, who focused on pursuing organized transnational crime in Guayas province, one of the country's most violent areas and the site of an on-air attack on a television station last week, has been killed, the Attorney General said on Wednesday. Suarez, who had been placed in charge of investigating the television station attack, was traveling to a court hearing when he was killed, the Council of the Judiciary said in a statement condemning the attack. No further details of the killing were released. Ecuador has suffered a recent burst of violence, including the gunmen interrupting the broadcast at TC television in Guayaquil, the hostage-taking of more than 200 prison staff, explosions in several cities, and the kidnapping of police officers. In response, President Daniel Noboa cleared a 60-day state of emergency, including a nighttime curfew, and designated 22 criminal groups as terrorist organizations. Suarez was investigating the attack against TC television station. Police have arrested 13 people, including 2 minors, who are detained for suspected terrorism crimes. Salazar's office has launched an investigation into Suarez's killing. While in Trinidad, minutes before gunmen shot and killed 3 men in Morvant on Tuesday night, residents said the trio were warned to get inside and stay there as talks of an impending attack were circulated. Israel McLaren, 19, Shaquem Dennis, 27, and Jamal Williams were liming in a tent outside building D Paradise Heights around 7:50 p.m. when a dark gray pickup truck drove near them. 3 gunmen wearing tactical gear got out of the truck and identified themselves as police before shooting at the group. Dennis died at the scene, while McLaren and Williams were taken to the hospital, where they died shortly after. Residents lamented that the 3 and others who were outside at the time were warned to remain inside as rumors of an attack were abound. The resident said while he could not say how or whom he heard of the rumors from, he said everyone was advised to remain indoors for the rest of the evening. Other residents said the trio were stunned and did not try to run, as the gunmen originally identified themselves as police officers. One man who lived near the shooting said he was unsure how to proceed when stopped by police claiming to be police officers. Homicide investigators visited the scene again on Wednesday morning to continue their probe into the killings. I'm Daisy Richards. Thank you for watching. Until next time.
2024 budget fails to target poor working class. Ramjatan. We have an opposition bereft of ideas. Jagdeo. Handwritten statements in criminal proceedings should be prohibited. AG. And Suriname news outlet reports that Guyanese wanted man Iswi Boss is in police custody. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm ALETHEA Grant. Thanks for watching.
Interested in honoring or paying tribute to a loved one, or just making a loved one feel